play a game.
G'day there, with 2 seconds to spare, the embargo has passed. Alrighty, we're going to be looking at Liberec's Stará Paka in Train Sim World. And as it says, explore the Jizera Mountains. Someone will give me grief for that. With a variety of passenger and freight services between Liberec and Stará Paka. The route is about half of 160-kilometre long line from Liberec to Pardubitz, and was opened between 1857 and 1859. Okay, shall we get into it? Probably should. Hello to Melbourne Train Dude and Gav, and there's a few lurkers, so welcome to you as well. New country, Czechia, and I've learned how to say it, Czechia. Not what I used to say, that got me in trouble. Sorry, dude. I made a dude very angry, but that's okay. No, it's not. It's not really. Where we start, I think, training centre. Yep, good plan. Almost like I've actually got a plan. Almost. I usually don't stick to them, but that's okay. Hello, Benjamin. You thought you were late? No, right on time, mate. Alrighty, go in there. Go on, just go in there. Don't look at me like that. Just open it. Uh-oh. The game has shit itself, I think. There we go. Hasn't shit itself as much as I thought. Alrighty, let's start with this one. There are 3 training scenarios. This one I broke, which is why it's not finished, but it gives you a walk around of the train, a look around outside, a bit of an inspection. You can get 99% of the way through it, but not the last bit. Hopefully that will be fixed. Probably not. Class 750 Introduction gives you a general rundown of how to actually drive the beastie without safety systems. There's one critical key piece of information that I don't have about the safety systems. How to reset them. So we'll be driving without safety systems tonight because if I get bitten, there's nothing I can do. And there's banking operations. This one is a bit of fun. I only found it in one scenario, so it doesn't happen in timetable, which is sad. But it tells you how to run these things with whistle codes to talk to the guys down the back. Because you don't have banking comm, because, you know, it's behind the Iron Curtain, under this radio crap. And we have the other beast, the Class 843, which has the route introduction, which features the 843. You sit in it. And you have the Class 843 introduction itself, which is a basic rundown of driving the thing and an external inspection of the beast. And things that will come in handy in some of the scenarios. So make sure you pay attention to both of them because there's stuff happens in scenarios you need to know. Hello, C. Hello, Flying Southerner. How are you guys? I've got a few in. I am competing with a few other people. There should be tutorials going live in about 2 minutes' time. So I just didn't want them to get confused with the stream notifications. Let us move on to... let's look at journeys first, actually. I shall... see, I told you the plan never lasts, does it? No. Because we're looking at journeys first, and I said do journeys last. Anyway, there is one called Bohemian Adventures. First one is training, unsurprisingly. The next one is getting to know the route, and it's teaching you a bit about driving along and things like that. Then there's Mastering the 843, which has a couple of the difficult scenarios in it. Then there is the misspelt, the Googles, trademark, just saying, should be the goggles. There's one about lots of shunting, and also it's the moves. The manipulation trains is this one, which is, they're basically local peddler freights, if you're familiar with the United States terminology. If not, they essentially go from yard to yard to yard or station to station, dropping off and picking up freight cars. And then there's intermodals that just roar through the thing with a trail of pink containers. Probably Matt did it. All right, let's get into the route itself, shall we? Which means we need to come out of here because we don't want journeys again. All right, let's start with scenarios. There's a lot. A lot. What did I write? There's an epic 9 scenarios ranging 40 minutes. The longest is 2 hours, as you can probably see there. Where's the longest one? There it is. Swimsuit weather. It's bloody hot. Don't get excited though, none of the people wearing swimsuits. Most scenarios for any route at launch. Good topics around weather, faults, and the last day of the 843. Broken down trains, shunting, and substitution. So there's a lot going on in this route. A lot. For a single line route, there's a lot. Now, to my mind, it's a good thing there's a lot of scenarios that will keep you engaged, because when I flick back here and we go to the timetables, well, it's not as exciting. The 843, there's 59 timetables. We'll come back to that, 59 services. There are 44 for the 750 green. About 30 of those are actually for 2 real-life services, but they've broken them up. I listened to feedback, I guess, because 8 to 12 hours, too long to play. So they've broken them up. And then there's the BR642, which has 8 services. We might start with the 843, which for some reason I've written down here as an 853. But no, it's an 843. Before we get into the trains, you will not be seeing the TSCX or the rail driver tonight because, well, the trains don't work with it. No, sad face. Anyway, this is something I think DTG really need to address, by the way, because we're getting more and more new trains, particularly from third parties, where they have forgotten about rail driver. Anyway, there are a bunch of versions of this things with original lighting and LED lighting and a different version of it. They look the same to me. And then there's the red versions. They look the same to me. That's okay. We have got in our services here for the 843, there's quite a few. We will come back to one of these, but they range from the very quick, which are basically runarounds at either end, to quite long. I think the longest is actually nearly 2 hours. It might be that one, 153. We're going to run 5404 today, so we'll come back to that. We're not going to run the whole thing, though, because I have to go to work tomorrow. And it's 9 p.m. at night already, for sure. We'll come back to that. So there's quite a few services. There's good amounts of quick things and longer things. Save appears to work so far, but I'm not doing safety system to save. So they range from half-hour things, which do half the route, to hour and a half or longer. Just growling at my son who's making noise there. Who run half an hour or longer, and these are stopping. So the 126 stops at about 2/3 of the stations, and the 2-hour ones, nearly 2-hour ones, stop everywhere. So we'll be looking at those tonight. We're coming back to that. The 750 services, they are the same for all of these. It doesn't seem to vary by month. I went through them and I couldn't see anything different. They range from 35 odd minutes. Oh, there's guard mode in the other thing, by the way. It's the first station wiped out. So you could be sitting there for 40 minutes on some of those with nothing to do, but that's okay. But anyway, they need to fix that bug. They really do. The longer ones, as I said, are all broken up, which is good because you can do little bits here and there as your time permits you to do. There are some full-length ones which run the whole thing, or half-length ones like this one. This one's a half. That's part of one of the services. There are some like this one, which are actually a full-length run. This is a intermodal, I think, from memory. And they're relatively good. No guard mode on the 750. That's not very surprising. Let me paste in some links, because is it 5 past? Yeah, it's past 5 past. Let me paste in some links for you because it's time. Damn it. I closed the window, didn't I? What a twit. Let me open that again. Actually, they might still be in the paste thing. They are. Very good. All right, let me paste in a few of these. So let's do these ones first. These are both for the 843 driving tutorials. And I wish I could put them in one link, but I can't. They're too big. And then there's the 750 driving tutorials. And last couple, there is how to switch radio channels. Kind of important, kind of easy too. Right, there we go. So there's a few things for you. We should drive, and then I'll talk more. We will talk more. We're going to start with blah, 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 blah. Scenario. That's what we're going to start with. Yes, I couldn't read my own writing there, and I was staring at it going, what am I doing? We're going to do this one. I'm going to run the same one again, even though I ran it. The medals. Whoa, mean. Very mean. But anyway, I'm running this one because I know for sure it works. What? Yep. And it shows off banking. It's the only chance we get to show off banking. And a radio change. And despite the name, we won't be doing any shunting whatsoever. All right. What are we doing? Oh yeah, muster key. It's already in there. Radio's already turned on. Brake's already cut in, so that's in fully applied. Let's release this brake. Do not leave it in quick release. You will regret it. All right, let us look on the outside. Looks like my light switches are already.
89 na 16. koleji v Liberci, máme po brzdě a jsme pohotoví k odjezdu do Turnova. Díky za spolupráci.
Did you get that? Turnova. Hello, Batstuder. Flying Southerner says not going to get this day one. Banking out of hate if you did. Melbourne Train Dude says we're getting it not right away. Nothing wrong with that. Jump on a sail. C says it's a nice little route. Special yes for sure. Yeah. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with waiting. So this is the goggly thing. One thing is I would love is I wish these snow vents would actually close, but they don't. There's the beastie. Class 750. Funnily enough, it's a green one. And if we go down the back... Yep, two more. Blue one and a green one. So... I'm going to open this door because we're going to bounce back and forth from here so that we can see what they're actually doing when we do the whistle signals in a moment. So it wants me to start doing that, so I will. But doors open. I can do it from the other end. So let's just go back here so we can watch. So I'm going to give it the 1 long and 2 short signals. This one acknowledges, and you can see it's already started applying power, so it's pushing on the back even though we're not applying any power yet. We do have a green signal. Let's get out of here. That's a very weird noise it's making. Oh, it's because the brakes are on. No, not those brakes. Those brakes! That sounds better. Alright, let's get out of here. Now the back powers up a little bit at a time, so you don't have to worry about it smashing your train to pieces. Hello, Hooks. The signalling system on this isn't too bad. There is a signalling tutorial that's already live. This will have safety systems on. I need to turn them off. Right, there we go. The reason I'm turning them off for those who have just joined, the safety systems work fine, but if you get caught by one, I have not figured out how to reset it. So it's something I need to know before I can teach other people. Because, you know, those who can't teach. So little units heading off into the wilderness. The signals are fairly straightforward. The top part is now, the bottom part is tomorrow. See? Does that help? It's very helpful. I think it's helpful. And we'll ignore the fact that that one's got its door open. It just does. Live with it. And we're nearly up to 40. We're coming into a 75 zone. We probably won't cross 40 before we get there because I'm not on full power. The ones on the back are, well, we're not. So that should be fine. So out of the 750 services, I'll give you the whistle signals first. So you'll find them operating in, this is too loud, I'm yelling at you. Is the game... It is a very loud train. Tell me if it's too loud. Hey, Samantha. It has got a steering wheel, you're right, but only half a one. Now, you do need to be careful when you're honking for crossings and stations and corners, because apparently they honk for corners. Whoops. That's a weird mountain up there. But anyway, you do need to be careful that you don't end up turning off your banking engines. This, I think, is new, which is wheat. We've had corn, but now we have wheat. There are lots of things I'm happy about in this route, such as the new tree assets. Genuinely enjoy those. Alright, we can power the rest of the way up now. Whistle codes, long, and then one short, half power. Long, short, give me full power. Short goes back to half power. 3 short stops powering, and you need to do that before you put the brakes on. Bankers will obey the speed restrictions, and they put the power down by themselves. Even turned right down, that's still massively loud in my ears. It does look very loud on the game too. I'm going to turn it down a bit. Let me know if that's too low. But it is monumentally loud, and I'm just mindful of that. As we creep towards 50 kilometers an hour. Have I learnt the route yet? No. Still working on it. Because my time's been divided between this and another game. Another game that's coming out soon. I haven't even had a chance to look at the 145 as yet. So, stay tuned. I'm pleased to say we have low-resolution sheep, and some places we have low-resolution cows, but in other places we have high-resolution cows. Go figure. We even have cows that move in some places. They're moving. You can see the tree hop-in effect is still there, but they've actually managed it quite nicely because the low lod shapes of the trees are the same shape as the trees. So they kind of fade into existence, if you like, rather than popping in. It's not as obtrusive. It's a very nice job. Scenery around the route itself is quite nice. They've done a few things that I'll point out on the way that are particularly good. As you can tell, we're pushing hard on the gradient. Should catch up with chat. Lots of people saying it's a sale thing. But yeah, it's a new country, and I think there'll be a lot of people who get right into it, to be honest. I'm actually quite enjoying it. And I'm not just saying that, I actually am quite enjoying it. Here comes one of the things I enjoy. Let me pop out of the cab for a moment. These people actually paid attention to how power lines work. I'll forgive going through the insulators because there's only so much bandwidth for things to go in the world. But look at these. How good's that? Switches. Line switches. And prototypical sag in the lines. And instead of just disappearing down into the ground like DTG do, look, transformers that go into the ground line the way it actually should be. These people do nice stuff. Makes me happy. We've reached the earth-shattering 60. By the way, the Hassler speed recorders, which go is quite normal. That's what they do. I love that the kilometer counter actually counts, and I haven't proven this to myself yet, but I have a faint suspicion it actually remembers it for each loco. I think. Not proven yet. I haven't had the same locos quite enough to really satisfy myself with that. The other thing I like about the Hassler is it does actually tick. When you're sitting still somewhere, you can hear it going tick, 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 like they do in real life, which is magic. Tree sim world. More wheat. I feel sorry for you, Gen 8 people. Oh wait, it's not coming to Gen 8. We have lots of cool wagons. They've reused some of the German stuff. It's slightly altered. And there's some genuinely new stuff. Hey, Ibby. Bend of the Train says hi. We're still slamming it on the upward grade. We will actually lose these bankers at some point. Now, interestingly, if I want them to stop powering, I can go... and you will feel that it stops powering. Because you'll start struggling a little bit. If I go down the back, that should be back at 0 now. Yeah, it is. And if I go... that should get it back up. There we go. That's got it half power. And if I do... that should get us up to full power. There we go. New toys. Why does the Speedo do that? Because it's a hassler. That's what they do. They jiggle and tick. They wind up things. Oh, look at the power lines. The serenity. I am so happy with the power lines. Look, they actually understand how these things are constructed. They've actually looked. They look real. And the slope. So nice. Not straight lines. Brilliant. See, some shit makes me happy, and stuff like that makes me happy. Just attention to little details that, I don't know, do they even mean anything to a lot of people? They mean things to me. I like them. Ibby says the trains look goopy. They do a bit. Samantha's buses says cicada sims. Like, click, 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 click. It does look fresh out of 1970. You are correct. Ah, our first gratuitous bridge shot coming up. It's a pathetic one, but we'll take it. Whoops, I missed it. That's okay. We had a grass shim shot instead. Oh, hang on, there's another one. Whee! There we go. There's some better bridges. Now, close to the line, there is quite a bit of scenics where you can see. So they've put scenery in where it's important. They've used that horrible rutted road asset again. But where you can't see it, it kind of disappears. So, yeah. I don't mind that, because that's hidden behind trees. You only see that if you go up in the air. Am I in there? I am in there, look. It's got such a little head. When did I turn into a bald girl? Oh well. It's a good uniform, though. Ah, more power lines. Oh yes, and they follow the contours of the land. Did I mention that? See, it comes from up there. Nice tautness on the lines, as standard sort of lines. And it goes down and they just follow the land. They're nice. They're good. Oh, yellow signal. I wasn't actually expecting a red signal here. But it seems we've got one. We do have one coming in here. Its braking is quite nice. You only have to apply a little bit of brake. These blue signals are worth mentioning. They only mean something when you're shunting. If you're not shunting, they really don't mean anything. We'll just roll our way the rest of the way in here. We can do a gratuitous slow motion bridge shot. Why not? Nice bridge noises. Sounds in the tunnels. There's reverberation. Very nice. We'll get there. I'll show you that. Southerner says, I wonder if we're going to get anyone in chat messaging about cheating on their other half this time. I don't know. I hope not. Anarchist Angel, hello to you. TS asks me, well, yeah, don't mention him. I'll only get myself in trouble again. Let's get the engines to push us. There you go, you heard the whistle that time. They're going to start pushing us into the end. We'll just sit here and do nothing because, you know, we just got to remember to kill that power before we get to the red signal. It'll quite happily push us through it. And we're turning up to Germanitz, track 2. We must be waiting for another train here. Maybe I'm on time. How weird would that be? Oh, it is weird. What else do we need to talk about? There's 44 services for the 750 and 62401 and 62402 going in each direction represent a full day on the line, a real full day. They take between 8 and 12 hours depending on how good you are at shunting. And I think good plan. 62401 has 14 parts, 62402 has 18 parts, which is pretty decent. There's Maintalbahn 642s on here, and they're all short. They're all less than 20 minutes. There's layers for the 843 and the 850 and the 642, but there's another layer called 854, which I think is either a future DLC or it's, but it says I own it, so I'm thinking it's AI. And it's probably representing some services from something else. The people are terribly behaved. They do wander across the tracks in front of the train. I have run over a few. Gleefully. Collectibles. I can't remember if I've done the collectibles here. Some of the stations you can walk around them. Doesn't look like this is one of the ones where you can. Oh, no, I can go out the back. There are many things that look like collectibles that aren't like them. So, I only know what one of the kinds of the collectibles is. I haven't actually found the others as yet. Should we help our brethren down the back, our brethren, who are pushing along? There won't be anybody in them, but that's okay. So there's no one sitting in there. But we won't worry about that, will we? They're still pushing hard. Even though I'm not powering, it's pulling hard on the buffers, which is weird. They're interesting carriages, these ones. I think we better help this. We might never get to this red light. So first notch, let it ramp up, and then you can go up until it hits the red. I haven't found the circuit breaker yet, so don't blow it. Oh, you can go in there too. You can actually go out the back. We'll do that while we're waiting at this signal. Go into notch 1, wait for the amps to drop near 0, and then off, or neutral. I just told the other end to stop pushing. You do get a little bit uncomfortably close to some of the signals. But the ejectives are fairly generous, so you don't have to worry too much about getting too close to the signals. Let's put that in full application, and let's go for a walk. Well, since we're going to wait here anyway. We have stuff. And there's things turning, so that's the armature on your generator turning. You can look at the oil. There's valves that are important. Don't worry about them though. You'll get told when to use them in scenarios. Come on, let me go at the back. Here's the big diesel. And there's the train we're waiting for. You can just see it out there. It just passed us, so our signals will go green in a moment. And pretty much identical at the other end. Oh yes, we have to uncouple our bankers. Let's get back in the chair and do that. These panels open. And there's switches and stuff that you may get to use during scenarios. I won't spoil your fun. Let's sit in the chair. And we'll lie down here on the 3 camera. We polite, shut the door. And cut them off. Because we lose the banking engines here because we're about to go downhill. In a moment, it'll realise we've uncoupled. There we go. And we should get a green. Yay! And sadly, hello Caleb. Sadly, you banking engines don't keep pushing now, so if you give them a command like, they just ignore you. They know they're not coupled. We will need more power because we're by ourselves now. Did I put that back in release? No, I put it in neutral. You want to have it in neutral. 5 bars is nominal. If you getting close to 6 or higher because you went into quick release, you will have to go and manually release the air. So the best way to do that is put the brake into emergency and then go and dump the air from all the carriages. Oh, just while this is taking off, nice power things. Substation. Can't get close enough to get fried, but it looks nice. It looks pretty real, to be honest. We've got the ground frame coming in from the medium tension lines. They even understand how to turn corners with power lines. Someone who worked on this knows their shit. So this stuff's good. I like it. Got a very generous sunblind. I haven't figured out how to make the fan work yet. There must be a switch for it somewhere, but I haven't found it. It's probably labelled air conditioning or something. Oh yes, gratuitous bridge shot. And I can do this now. Put those up on Steam, of course. I'm not bothering to push too hard because we're going to go downhill and it gets rather steep rather fast, so I'll get plenty of speed all by myself. I won't need the help of the diesel very much. Because I've got the safety system turned off, the in-cab signalling doesn't show anything. I'd kind of prefer if the safety system was off, that it still showed the signals. But that is not to be. I actually tend to agree, Melbourne. This actually is fun because it's a bit like Maintalbahn. It's got lots of gradients and curves and speed limits, and you kind of have to think about it. There are places where you actually need to plan ahead. Fortunately, we've got a track monitor. I'll just go back to neutral now and we'll let it pick up the speed all by itself, because it will. As we cruise down, where's my teacup? There it is. Really is tea this time. You can see our banking engines are no more. And if we flip back to that station, you'd see that they had driven off. So this is the new trees I was talking about, some of them. There's quite a few different ones. So they look quite nice. And from what I understand from the live stream, they said they actually made them. So they didn't even go out and buy trees. They actually made the things, which is pretty cool. All right, we are picking up speed as predicted. So let's put on a little bit of brake. Don't need much. Little bit's more than enough. and that will start slowing you down. There is no kind of electric braking or anything like that. It's all very simple, seat of the pants driving. And it seems they've got Gen Zs in their handbags everywhere. So the braking method is basically sawtooth, where you apply, let it slow down, release, let it speed up, apply, let it slow down. Gav says you want the nodding donkey, DBBR 612. No pacer. There's a thought. Could the pacer actually get up the hills? Actually, probably would. Pacers can get up Licky Bank. Pacers get up Mittenweld Barn fine as well. Here is yet another kind of power asset. So there's lots of different power poles in this thing. Now when you find these around the place, I assume they're hunting hides, but or bird watching towers or something, but there's a few around the place. I guess these will be their beaver trees. Rivet have beaver trees, these guys have hunting hides or whatever they are. There's more of the bespoke trees here. These pine trees. I'm sure we'll see these turning up everywhere now. That's probably what Rivet should have made for a Rosa. Big rocks all over the place. Jiggly pine forests. Frame rate's pretty good everywhere. It sits on 60 on my machine most of the time. There's one spot where it dips, and I think there's probably an asset that's got too many polygons there or something, so I imagine that will get optimized at some point. Gab says, chuck on a steam train. Well, funny you mention that. I haven't seen it, but apparently there actually is a grey steam train that runs on here as AI, which I think is not the Jubilee, the other one, the 7F. We have a 60 zone coming up. We're doing under 60 at the moment, but I'll have to keep an eye on that because we are creeping up over it at the moment and flicking back and forth. 60 zones are generally rockfall zones or corners or something like that. So we've just popped over the 60, so let's pop on a little bit of brake. You don't need much at all. I'm just using keyboard for this. It works equally well with controller, so it should be fine for the consoles. It just doesn't work. Oh, these red and white canes are a long toot. We're going to be sitting just over the 60. We're on about 62, 63. Apparently the drivers of these things honk for everything, so expect much honking. Local road signs, proper ones. Not just signs that go city or town or whatever. Nice bridges. Another screenshot there. Seems necessary. They could be at Chernobyl, but they're not. Now, on the brake system that I'm used to, you go into what's called charge and release or quick release for 1 second for every 4 cars, but this train doesn't seem to like that. So out of habit, I pop into quick release and then straight out again. There's the other new kind of tree. Apples. The apples are two-dimensional, but don't let that worry you because they turn to face you. It's kind of cool. It's you can see one there that hasn't managed to do it, but they are two-dimensional. good for frame rates. Sitting on about 70, speed limit's 75. I will think about doing some braking now. As we come down through the Forest of Dreams. Anarchist Angel says Arosa is one of the routes deserving of a remaster. It doesn't have that much going for it gameplay-wise, and the scenery right now doesn't make up for it. I find Arosa's really pretty in winter. I only run Arosa in winter. It actually looks okay in winter. But yes, I know what you mean. Arosa's a bit shit. It's got some alright scenarios. My favourite one doesn't finish, which makes me sad, but, you know. Caleb says, tomorrow I take Amtrak to California. Oh, California's not that bad, dude. You going to South Cali or NorCal? Coal. Big train of coal.
How dare you?
Coal. Cyber says, can you whistle and horn using gamepad? You can horn, but you can't do this one. Because it uses the bell command, sadly. I wish it were not so. See, that tiny brake application I did is holding quite well. So it was just hovering around the 70km/h mark. It's only just starting to drop below that now. So it's doing okay. So remember, small brake applications. Do not make big applications. You do not need to. Nice little tableau. They've been digging out the creek, clearly. Widening the channel. Let's come back in. We're still sitting on just under 70, so we'll just hold this brake application. We'll just keep it. It's a pretty light one, so it shouldn't catch fire. Honest. You're going to Atascadero, but you're taking the train to San Luis Obispo. Fair enough. Ah, yes. When you have high tension lines near airports, they have balls on them. I don't know where the airport is. I haven't found it, but I like the balls. These balls, just being really clear. Still hiding quite nicely. We've dropped a little bit of speed there. When's the gradient slacked off, but it picks up again. Just keep on rolling down the hill. There we go. Gradient's picked up back up to 1.7. I haven't had any trees smash me in the face yet, which I highly appreciate. I really like the close rock walls. I reckon that's cool. That's a nice bit of detail. And it feels like you're in a forest until you spot chunks of civilization just hanging around the edges there. Cyber says there should be a mode to remap it to the high-low horn. I agree. Completely. I'm sad that you can't do this. As we go through Hodgevitz. See, console people need to be able to do this. Now what you could do is plug in a keyboard, of course. It's the B key. So I do recommend people do that. It's time to release that brake. It's gotten a bit harsh. Red signal's not for us, it's for the other track, but the honky sawn is for us. Hello, Lord Vectron. Melbourne Train does when we do the DMU next. We will be doing the DMU next, and we'll be doing a stopping service. Because I like that. guard mode on these things, you blow your whistle, check tickets, move bags. You don't do doors. So I'm not actually going to show guard mode tonight because there's nothing new about that. We've seen it before. The rocks are reasonably nice, but it is obvious that they've been optimized to within an inch of their lives. We have... This lot's not wheat with the big broad leaves. Well, corn would be my bet. It's good to know the people of Czechia just drive through level crossings as well. Anybody think it was Florida? Florida. How are people going tonight anyway? I've actually had quite a good day. Mucking around with a certain blue engine. And a green one. Another green one. Another blue one. Red one. Yep, them. So it's been a fairly pleasant day. Did a bit of train misconductor as well. Played a couple more services in this just to make sure I actually did have bang of it. Lord Vectron makes a terrible pun. Not my cup of tea, but I thought I'd check it out anyway. I think we might want to think about slowing down. And we may want a slightly larger application this time. The bottommost sign applies to freight. Top sign applies to the DMUs. In fact, they're not DMUs. They're actually diesel rail cars. I got told off for calling them DMUs. Alright, we can release that now. Get out of quick release. You can be in there for a little while and it doesn't really matter. It's only if you push that over 5 bar. So if you push this gauge with the black needle over 5 bar, you'll regret it. You'll have to reset. Another nice big bridge. Another steam shot. Steam shot? Yes. There's a lot of bespoke bridge assets. They are all properly optimized as far as I can tell. So I'm guessing... Ooh, we need to be in this for the tunnel. I shall be quiet for the next few moments. You should hear it when you're powering. Love the tunnels. But I'm guessing that the people who built this game, this isn't the first time they've built a game. Because it's quite polished. First time they built Train Sim World, I reckon not the first time they've done games. Just saying. Melbourne Train Dude is my phone and PC are perfectly in sync. It's weird having TSD and surround sound. I can do this too. Left, right, left, right. I know that looks weird on screen because I'm backwards on screen. Oh, another one. Oh no, another accidental screenshot. That look nice. This is a double height one too. All looks cool. Don't worry, the red's not for us. Red's for the next blokes. We can probably start powering, I think. Let's get some power on while we go through the tunnel. was me that turned that up, by the way. And me, would I go into a tunnel with the brakes on to go really slowly so I could power up on full power just for you? Yes. Alright, it's time to change radio channels. It's not difficult. I'll just wait till it wants me to do it. I should point out what you're looking for. On the road, you'll see these things look like a phone with a number. That tells you the channel to switch to. So we'll do that. You do system and then the channel number. And that's all you have to do. Did I do that right? 6-1. I'm sure it was system. Maybe it's arrow 6-1. I think I got it to work that time. I think it is system 6-1. But anyway, that's fine. I should probably come off the power because, you know, we're going downhill again. But I thought you'd enjoy that tunnel. So we'll go back to rolling now. Anarchist Angel says gorgeous gauges. They are, particularly the sickly green radioactive glow from the Hassler. That's exactly what a Hassler looks like in the dark. $60. My machine's locked at 60. I keep it there deliberately. Nice fields. Grass crop on one side. Corn on the other. There's one spot where it dips down below 60 a little bit, but it's not for very far, and I dare say that'll get fixed. Hey, Chris Martin, how are you? Melbourne Train Guide said the sound is something else. The sound is... I have no idea if it's accurate. None whatsoever. But yes, it is very nice. Yeah, don't get much more Eastern European than that. Probably safe enough to come off the brakes now. Flowers! I wasn't sure if these are meant to be fields of daisies, if this is normal, or if they're meant to be canola or something like that, but they certainly catch your eye. Holy Trucker says the route is nice but boring. It's a bit like driving a truck, mate. Nice but boring. I think you'll find when you get your hands on it, if you give it a try, and there's an apple orchard next to us there. If you do give it a try, you'll probably find it's actually not boring because you have to adjust all the time. Camp Pepe says a bit of a Swedish feeling in the scenery. Well, it is mountain area, so yeah, I imagine that's... And it's not that far either, geographically. Gab says, Dominic said in the stream the sounds are from the real units. Indeed they did, but remember the Rivet told us the sounds on West Coast Local were from a real 150. So, you know, they don't always tell the truth. But I think with these guys, it's such a good sound set that I'd be surprised if it wasn't. It's time to start slowing down properly because we're coming in to turn off. MTD says way more fun than Cajon for the long freight runs. Yes, because it's not going to kill you. It's achievable and the brakes on the locomotives are nice. I'd be acknowledging at this point if I cared. Probably get a bit more brake on. So even at 30% brakes, we're still not quite down to 4 bar. So it's quite prototypical. Small applications are doing the good things. Oh yeah, the backyards are nice too. Little fields and whatnot. Cubby houses, sheds, day houses, whatever they are. Different things growing in people's veggie gardens. The brakes are partially releasable. I'm going to release them completely because eventually, like real brakes, they bite. And once they bite, if you don't release them, you will stop. So looking at the signal, the top part, which had a yellow light, said the, it's red now obviously, but the top part said this signal is yellow and the next one is yellow. V for Vitty says, sorry I'm late. When will the DLC be released? It should start coming out tomorrow, the day after, something like that. Tomorrow. For the Aussies, it'll be 3 AM the next day, because, you know, we're lucky. As we come into Turnov, track number 21. So I'd better get... Oh no, we've got 20 kilometres now. We're fine for the track changes. Holy Trucker says, how come Dovetail has crappy assets compared to third-party devs? Because time, money. Gav says 10th of March. Yes, it'll be probably 3 AM on the 11th for the Aussies. At least on Steam. Uberk says, I am late. My neighbour was so nice to wake me up with noise. How is the route going? I am quite happy with it. It's challenging. It keeps you awake, so it's not like a lot of single tracks where it's boring as hell. It's actually fun. Because it's constantly changing. There's lots to do. And it is new scenery too. So it just looks nice. Because I ran this before, I know the points are all set properly, so I didn't look. But it might pay to look. Just saying. So once we do finish this one, we'll run from the other end. And we'll do a stopper coming up to here. Den Baker, have you come across any hills Flying Scotsman would struggle with? I plan to see if the steam locomotive can release the brakes on the routes coaches and take her in a scenario planner. Why don't you just put English coaches on the back of it? If you're going to bring Flying Scotty over, bring coaches with it. Oh, look at that. I got a reward. Isn't that nice? I actually think that this could be a candidate for an expert loco in the future if they chose to. It's got lots of operable bits. And in the scenarios, they use some of it. So I'm not going to spoil your fun. I'm not going to ruin your interest. Just expect. Expect stuff. Steve Austin says put a few engines on Australia and move it further north for earlier releases. Yeah, but then we'd bang into Indonesia. They'd get upset. Always happy with a stop like that. Alright, that's it for this one. Let's see how I did. I got a bronze medal the first time I did this, because they're mean. I don't think... was I speeding on this one? Maybe once. Let's see how it goes. Anarchist Angel, you need your favourite in real life VR182 expert first. Oh, that's right. You don't get medals after you've got the first one. A little bit of speeding. Only a tiny bit. Did all right with that one. I'm happy with that. So the score, 3798022, that's probably in platinum level, I would think. If I was getting a new medal. I'm sad you don't get better medals. I'm sad. But that's okay. Main menu. Den says, I've done that on German routes and the height difference between platform and the coaches was a bit much. Anarchist Angel says, it's an amazing locomotive in many ways and current iterations in the games don't do it justice. We shall see. One day, maybe we'll get it. I'd like an Australian route first. Can I have an Australian route? Would that be okay? All right, we'll do one of these things. I'll grab that one with the LED lights, and we'll do custom weather, light clouds. March, was that what I was going to do? Yes, and I want 5404. Because this is a stopper. We're not doing the whole thing. Just being real clear, we're going to drive it up to turn off. You can run conductor and driver mode, like most routes, most of the time. Hello, Amy. Most of the time, there are no passengers on the first stop, so the first one's a bit of a bust. Ian says, hi there, I don't understand a lot of engines. I struggle with the British ones. You'll pick them up, mate. I'm going to drive this one manually for the first station, and then I will drive it with the automation for the second one. Again, I'm not turning on the safety systems, which is down here, deliberately, because I'd like us to survive the trip, just frankly. And let's get the doors open. Who knew? Who knew? Box. New lease on life. Box is back. Ah, bugger. How did I end up muted? How did that happen? Sorry. Thanks, Amy. Oh dear. That's a bad joke, Vectron. I'm back. Oh, I'm speechless, yes. Maybe I should turn my microphone off more often, Anarchist Angel. I think you're right. You're going to send a search party. Going to Stará Paka. One of the stations on this route, Mala Scala, is very funny if you know. If you don't know, I'm sorry. So we are running in March, so things haven't started to grow yet. Thought I'd show you what it looked like outside of the nice spring period. V for Viti, which locomotive and which route from all TSW DSCs is the most difficult to drive? The DBBR 101 expert. We're not stopping at this one. Which is the other one that's difficult? The TGV. That's a pain in the ass, that thing. I couldn't get the grid shot in. But we'll do it this way. Good enough. Oh, it does have nice water, but I can't show you the water for very long because we're almost in the station. And I overly reduced the speed, but that's okay. If you find that you accelerate and it drops straight back to zero again, it's because you didn't wait long enough between the braking and powering. Why does it look like I have brakes on? That'll work tons better. I didn't release the brakes enough. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Why didn't anybody tell me? No one told me. No one told me that I was cruising along with the brakes on. Dab says we could have sent MTD to your house to yell in the window. You would have got here in about an hour and a half. Unless he's coming by public transport, in which case tomorrow. Viti says except for the experts. TGV. That's the hardest one. Den says I get crap like that all the time on Xbox. I just move my controller sometimes and somehow I manage to mute the entire party. It's fun when things like that happen, isn't it? We drop into this little slow speed rockfall zone. And I'm not going to speed up because we are coming into the first station. Yeah, new subscriber. Babbles and Men's Online. Okay. Sounds like a company to me. And you're all focused on me being muted, of course. Anarchist Angel says many people would cry for help with the BR143 expert. all the brakes. So that it rolls the last little bit. Another subscriber, Western Victorian Railways. Nice. It's very specific, that one. You thought Melbourne Train Dude was specific. There we go. And flick the independent brake on. And then release the braking. You could hear the little fault thing buzzing. That light would have been flashing then. It's because I was sitting on the braking before the air brakes applied. Look at our little station. So that's the door that only opens when it's meant to. Stations are probably a little bit boring, but they'll do. The big stations are nice, but the little ones, not much time spent on them. What's that beat? That's another train. That's cool. All right, let's release this thing. Whee! Let's get the brakes down to 0 this time. I've broken it. What have I done? Oh no. What have I done? Oh, fault light's on. Didn't have vigilance turned on. That was weird. What have I done to it? There we go. Brakes are coming off this time. Still can't power yet though. Go on. Yeah, reset your fault. Just do it. Stop yelling at me. We just want to drive. Oh, I've got something else yelling at me now. Oh, the doors are open. That's what it was. Now, I'm probably going to have to stop so that it shuts up. Because the doors were still open. That was the problem. Are they closed now? We'll open them and close them again. If it'll let me. Are you going to let me, little train? Or do I have to back you up into the station for make the doors open? I might have to do that. We'll see. See what it does. See if it lets me drive. Change the doors to lock all. There we go. That's what I did to it. I'm smart. Amy says the door looks a little high for a wheelchair. No, it's got a bloke with a big hand. It's like one of those claw machines. C says, I'm back. Why are you sorry you're back? Just be back. Vectron says, what issues you have with TGV? I never got used to it. Someone got evicted on your estate, so was sorting her stuff out. Stored at my house. Well, that's sad. That's very sad. When something like that happens to people. Oh, I was going to turn on the automation, wasn't I? Alright, next station. Remind me. At Libstat, next station. We want the automation turned on. Don't let me forget. I'm not quite dumb enough to try and do it while I'm driving. Gratuitous bridge shot. We'll leave that one run because we've got 2Ks, because they've done a nice job with the water. Looks fairly nice. Could do with some weeds around the edges, I think, but it looks all right. It's not, no sharp lines or anything like that, apart from that one. But around the edges, it's relatively smooth and simple, so looks nice. And we have to slow down some more because we've got a 60 zone coming up. Yeah, it was indeed doors. Yes, closing the doors would have been handy. Anarchist Angel says, whenever a train doesn't take power or gives you a warning, that's your one chance to avoid someone getting hurt. Yep. Booted. I like my steam trains. We don't have automatic doors. People close them and lock them, and we lock the passengers inside. They can't get out. Done well. Little single lines running off to the buildings. I like it. I know, I'm fascinated with power lines. I can't help it. I should probably get off the brakes, really. Got a light on in here? We do. So we come into Lippstadt. Well, they would be slam doors if they were open when we moved, Gav. It'd take people's fingers off. But that's why we locked them. We locked them from the outside. So here's an area where it's dropping below 60, but it's sitting on 55, 54, 55, 56. No major concerns there. Now this thing's a lot easier to drive if you use the speed automation, so I will show you that. The only thing I think I figured it out is when you stop. You have to be careful. It has a bunch of different positions, but let me stop at the station and I'll show you that the power brake handle. Lippstadt, hello. Paul's Power Line Services coming to you soon. Oh yes. There's a lot of serenity in a power line. So it has this electric braking range, and if you keep pressing it, and you can get it into air brakes as well, get it to apply air brakes, and it stops you quite quick when you apply air brakes. And if you keep pressing it, you'll push it into emergency, which just dumps everything. And I need to put the brake on. If I put this into engine only, so the different positions, whoops, wrong key. We stand up too, so we can come around to the sides. You can see the other ones because there is an S position. Oops. There's an S position for applying power. It normally sits in J, so J just holds whatever you've got. So you apply it, watch this needle here, and that will go up, and then J holds onto it. If it drops again, let it drop back to 0, and then power again. The V position is just an idle type thing. Electric brakes, air brakes, and the other one's dumping for emergency. I'm not going to do that because I don't actually know how to reset it, which is part of my problem with the safety systems, is I do not know how to reset the brake. I know how to reset it if you do it manually. You just push this lever back, but the other ones, no. Alright, so let's put it into automatic speed control, but we want automatic. The other setting is winter for snow. And we will use the automatic speed control this time. So back into forwards. Did I close the doors? I did this time. Release the brake, and we want to go into power, and then what's our speed? 80. So on this panel we go 80, and you'll see a little 8 thing, little tiny marker appeared on the speedo there. And we've got 80 on the power meter. So now I give it full beans. And just give it as much power as you want, and then you can let go, and from now on it drives. And we can see there's a yellow signal coming. I'll catch up with chat in a moment. Let me deal with the yellow signal as we go on to Kostelov. Track number 1. We've got German-like warning boards. Cost you love. It'll cost you love. You've got a green here on the distant and inexplicably a yellow around the corner. And a red after that. So let's start slowing down. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? How about 30 kilometers an hour as we approach the yellow signal? Sounds like a good plan. Right, catching up with chat. Andy says, howdy, sorry I'm late to the stream. That's all right, mate. Come whenever you want. Been at the docks this morning, which wasn't great news. They're sending me for cancer screening for my bowel and stomach. Not something I wanted to hear today. And that's terrible, mate. My, you probably don't want to hear this, but my father passed from bowel cancer. Which means every 2 years I get the, hey, let's check this out. Great. This signal is yellow, despite the fact it looks red. We would have to acknowledge that if we were running safety systems, but we're not. You can hear it speeding up and slowing down by itself, trying to maintain the 30. You can watch the little power dials going a bit mental because it speeds up some more, goes, oh no, I'm going too fast, and slows down and puts the brakes on. It's a funny little unit. It's not the smartest thing in the world. Now, this is something I don't know if you're supposed to do. But you can drop it down by another 5 Ks. It's accelerating to make the 25. It overcorrects everything. It's like a cruise control on a Chevy from the 70s. You can see another train with one of its little coaches. And you can even stop the train with the 0 button, which we will do. I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but it works. No one's crossing me in front of this time. At cost you love. Didn't time that quite right, but it'll do the job. Alrighty, we bring... No, we don't have to bring that out of engine only, we need to bring that one back. And then open the doors. The train will hold itself. Anarchist Angel says you tap BA and let it go back to V to keep applying the brakes. When you are applying the brakes, let me take it out of the automation and I'll show you. And I'll talk you through it. I should have done that. Let's take the speed automation off. Let's put this brake on so we don't roll away. Lock the doors. So I've gone back onto manual on our way to Simile. So I will go through this now. So we're still in forwards. Now we'll release the direct brake. And it'll brake when I start powering. So if I want to accelerate, put it in the J position, which basically says I want to power. When it revs up, you can put it into the S position and it will start powering, it will drive. And it'll sit at whatever level you took it to. So if I take it back to the V position and then go back into drive, it proved me wrong then. There we go, so it's holding that. And in braking, if I go to the V position, let it get down to 0, and then we can go BE. Notice how on that gauge it's put a little bit of braking on. And I can put on a bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, lot more. And it just holds it until you go back into the J position and then it releases it. And then it gets ready for you to use it again. So off we go, back on manual control. Does that make sense, Anarchist Angel? Long day at work, you're heading off. Enjoy yourself, Vectron. Have fun, mate. We've got a little while till we get to Semolina. It does pick up speed pretty quickly. You can go between accelerating and braking straight away, it's like, but you can't go from braking to accelerating that quickly. Indeed, keep strong, Andy, says C. Well, thanks, C. These days, Andy, it's hopefully you're fairly early in it, so if you're stage 1 or 2, it's by no means a death sentence. Stage 3 is a bit iffy, stage 4 is not good. So hopefully you'll be one of the others. So if I was to try and power before it went back into 0 and the revs changed, it wouldn't have let me, basically. C says it's a nicely done route, you like it? And Nicus Angel says J is keep RPM, release brakes, and V is RPM neutral, keep brake application. Yeah, pretty much. But it is diesel electric, so it's a confusing little thing. It's like it wants to be an electric train. But it's not that different to a tap changer, really. It's the same kind of concepts. Bit more. That should hold it. So it's relatively easy to drive once you get used to it. The only other thing you might have to do, if the brakes aren't on 5 bar, you can press that button to overcharge and get it to pick up. I've only found it like that in a couple of times, and when it's got coaches on the back and you need to charge the coaches. I actually thought this one stopped everywhere, but I guess not. Amy says, reminds me of the Pisa Elf in Simrail. It probably is a similar train. C says it's confusing. You'll get used to it. Just think of it like a tap changer. Drive it like an 87. And then you'll be fine. See, I've just put it to 50% brake, and I'm going to release some of those brakes in a moment. Release a bit of the brake and hold it again. Release a bit more and hold. Andre, hello. Technically it's electric train, it just takes power from the generator, not the wires. This is very true. Like I said, it wants to be an electric train. It's just brought its own electricity. It's got its little weirdnesses, but it's quite fun to drive. Actually, Andre, you might know, if you get a penalty brake application from the safety systems, do you know how to reset it? Because I'm not running with safety systems because I don't know and I don't want to get stopped. But I would rather run with safety systems. Chocky says, any spads yet? My word. Very much. No spads tonight though yet, Chocky. Burke says, drive it like an 87. Good advice. Driving to drive an 87 later today then. Excellent. So this is the Todd 4 lighting. That is yellow, honest. Even though it looks red. It's not. It's yellow. And we're stopping in the next station down here.
Family.
Jumbo train, hello. No, there's signalling as well, Burke. It's a combined single system. And the vigilance in the 750 is very, very annoying. Like, monumentally annoying. Vigilance in this thing's quite tolerable. Michael Lay need to ask people how many people will buy it. I don't know how many will branch into a new country. I can put up a poll and see if people are interested. I might word it differently though. Rather than, no, you're going to buy it. It's, do you like it? Oops, I should be stopping. I should be stopping. No, no. Oh well, we'll just pretend it's stopping. We'll open the doors here. That's fine. We'll just pretend that's okay. We'll pretend it's fine. But yes, let me put up a poll. I'll do 2. There you go. I've tried to separate it from people who would just stick with their home countries, because versus people who might get it as a new challenge, which is the way I see it. It's a new challenge. It's a new thing to drive. It's a new ecosystem to get used to. It's new signaling, new rules, and we should be able to go. Actually, I'm going to put it back on the automation, so we can drive around a bit on this, because I want people to see it. So, what are we, 80? And that is set. And we should be able to power up. There we go. Oops, keep going, keep going, keep going. Hold on to it, hold on to it. Now you can go. Right, there we go. These oops, sorry. These buttons use more or less power, so I can tell it to use less power. So if we only want to use half the power, for example. I'm good, Jumbo Train. How about you? C says, hopefully today's the day for a new adventure. Ooh, good luck, mate. Good luck. Annika says, new signaling. German train drivers know high signals. Yeah, they are. They're actually. It's also actually really similar to the American Zalezny Brod. It is also very similar to the combination of Axis and ATC on Northeast Corridor. It's really similar in a lot of the concepts. I do kind of recommend that you set a bit under your speed, or you'll find that you'll end up going over the speed. Hello, British Ace. How are you? Yeah, see, exactly right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with only being interested in your home country. That's perfectly okay. I don't get that choice. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to use nothing but trains. Oh, in MSTS. There actually is an Australian route in MSTS. Oh, you can't use AOP with the British ace, my man. He's not a northerner. I mean, compared to us he is. But no, he's not a northerner. You can't use A up. See? Even they sound good in a tunnel. Waterfall. Oh, I can't get there. Alright, that's it. Photo mode. We're going there. You can't even go there on photo mode. What? Damn it. Damn it. Do I have no headlights on? Yes, I had no headlights on. Naughty me. There is a manual coming, I believe. Just set it to 70 because we've got that 70 zone coming up. Nice little snow sheds. Sickly green glow. There's lots of these around the place too. No idea what they are. They're just everywhere. I know what they are. They're beehives, but I don't know what these are for. Ski racks maybe? Don't know. C says, I'm originally from Birmingham, Bambalam, so I can chat roadman waffle. I'm sure you can. It's good to have you along, Joe. How are you finding the route? Next signal will be yellow, so let's start slowing down for that. Amy says, Birmingham, where they think they're from the ends or something. Evie says the scenery is nice, so agree it is. Looks like racks for hay, stuff for horses, goats and the like. It could be Uberg for wintertime, I guess. Steve says, I was from the ends. Andy says, this is one I'll likely grab in a sale. Only non-UK road I've bought. Day one is the Netherlands route, and that was only because a mate lives in Groningen, so I wanted to see how close it was to the area. Alright, it stopped yelling at me, it's fine. Oh, it's yelling at me again. I have no idea what that means, don't ask me. It just yells at you every now and again. I don't know why. You activate cruise, Joe, turn this to automatic, and then you can select your speeds, and you need to have it in the J position, but you need to power it up the first time, so it's actually got power. Amy says, man come round these ends thinking they be well hard with their roadman posse. Man be on that cosplay ting. That's very sad, Amy. It's a 750. It's like a 66 from Czechia. Does look like a lot of people going on sale, indeed. Ooh, we came over here. There's an 850 leaving. I like the beaten up look of a lot of the carriages. It's a nice change from the impeccably brand new rolling stock that we see in TSW. I'm sure you're not meant to stop this way, but I'm going to. Steve Austin lives close to DTG Studios. Well, we should organise in August, Steve, to have a coffee or something, or a beer. Because, funnily enough, I'll be at DTG Towers in sometime probably August. At least I hope it's August, because that's when I'm going to the UK. If it's not August, I'll be sad. And this time we're going to whack the 0 button a little bit earlier. There we go. And we should put the direct brake on. Oh, not that one. Put that back into the V position so it doesn't yell at us. Unlock which side? Left, I guess. Or is that right? We've got people on both sides. Why do we do both? We'll see which one they get in from. Come on, doors. Unlock. Can you not unlock both? Oh, the right ones did unlock. Left ones have now. No one's getting in at all. There they go. They waited for the other door to open. Will any right-hand people get in? Oh, look at that. It can only open one side at a time. Ah, the things you learn live on the air. Huh. Did anybody else just see that guy fall out of the sky? Yep. We'll pretend that's okay, won't we? Mm-hmm. It was this guy, the one who's walking on air right now. Whoop, and he vanished. But he fell out of the sky initially. People in this game are whoop, on the tracks. Come on, get back on the platform. Good boy. Well done. Whoop, disappeared. I think there's something wrong with the world there. They're either falling through it and going down, or they're going vertical. Do we really have to wait here for 10 minutes? Wow, better go explore then. He's a boss. Can't explore that way. Morning. I don't have any idea what the collectibles are, and I apologize for that. I did find one, which is a, it's these tools that you put on racks. And if there's a bit of a jumble of them and you sort them out and put them on the racks, that's one collectible. I have only seen them on one station, and I collected both of them at that station. I haven't seen them anywhere else. So I have no idea if there even are other collectibles. This is one of the freight cars you'll pick up on your run. Can't go over there. That's sad. Oh, it's construction equipment we can hear. How far can we go? Well, clearly we can't just walk down the tracks. That's nice. Why is there a boat? There's a boat just sitting on the ground. And there's two forklifts trying to tip over an escalator. Excavator, I should say. Checkpoint machines. Logs and hay. No, don't want to give it up. I just have to sit here, so I'm killing time, as it were. At Zelezny Brod. It wasn't just the halfway mark we were going to come to anyway. Or was it Turnov we were going to go to next? We do actually have a path. Is there anything coming? Oh, where's 5403? So yeah, it's going the other way. We've got to wait for that one to get in from Lisny. Are you listening? See you later, MTD. Oh, hang on. I just ran over something. Oh, yeah, that's them. That's them. Tools. And they're actually skates. You chuck them under the rail wheels to stop the train rolling. And if you're doing hand shunting, you can chuck them under the rail wheels and it will stop the train. Heavy, man. Whee! Let's put the handbrake on and annoy some AI later. Stiffies. Not expert mode couplings, that's for sure. Ooh, these ones are on dummies. Cute. What are you all waiting for? A train? Really? Do. We've killed half the time. Do they have climb up points on these? Can we see inside them? Is that a climb point? No. What else if you pull the bar? Can't. They look like the end's open, don't they? That'd make a mess. Seems everybody puts their cars in the dirt. That looks like old track, not connected anymore. How you doing? You having fun? Yeah? You guys together? No? No. Not very talkative. How am I going to kill time with them? How about you? You want to chat? No? Shiny coat. Boys, how you doing? Hang on. They're twins. I know they don't look like twins, but they are. They're the same character model. That's not meant to happen. Morning. Oi. Hello. I know you can do stuff in here, but don't know what. I would have thought all of these should be little flashy lights, but they're not. And they didn't put the pins in the connectors. Makes me sad. But that's about the only thing that makes me sad. Ah, 2 more minutes till the train gets here. In fact, there it is, look. It's here. Anarchist Angel says, passengers really aren't TSW's strong suit. No kidding. It's still such a shame. We have fixed waiting times instead of whenever all passenger boarding completed or scheduled time. As long as passengers behave this oddly, wait for boarding to be completed could be locking you out of the scenario if one of the bugs below terrain. Yes, it can happen. Actually, since we're here, let us go and look in the coach. Because, you know, we've got a minute. You can open the doors. You don't want to open that one. You want to open this one. Get out of the way. So, clearly there's stuff you can do in the coaches as well. Let's turn the heating off. Ooh, it's making noise now. Hello, people. Morning. So the coach isn't that much different from the actual rail unit itself. Uh-oh. 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 Whee! It's leaving. That was lucky. And if you want to get on my nice blue train... We should probably leave. Was this the mid-station I was going to bring the train to? Not sure. What time is it? 11 o'clock. One more station. One more station. Ian says I'm fairly hungry, so I'll be back shortly after making some bacon sandwiches. Oh, bacon sandwiches. You've been busy trying to bond your rabbits. Use glue, mate. That'll bond them. It seems it pulls too much time in the station, it becomes mischievous. No kidding. Did I turn the automation back on? I did. Good. Right, here we go. Are we going to get a green? We are going to get a green. So, 50. Oh, hang on. I've got doors open again, haven't I? I'm an idiot. There we go. Must be death. At least you can satisfyingly honk at them. C says just lurking, making some scran. No worries. Nearly got kidnapped by the AI, yes. The AI of doom and gloom.
Příští stanice Líšný.
Not a bad little city. It's got just enough buildings to look plausible without causing horrible frame rate problems. Look at that. Look at that. More power lines that don't just disappear into the ground. They go into a building. Nice. Oh, better get down to 70. As we go to Lisny. You can have some lunch, Chucky. Enjoy. Don't eat the rabbits. So Lisny will be the last stop today. Didn't mean a cough last stop. It'll just be the last stop today. Because it's getting on to 11 PM here and I need to be at work at 8. So I do have to be up at a reasonable time tomorrow. Because I'd quite happily sit here and drive this for the rest of the night, but then I probably wouldn't go to work and there would probably be questions. Like, why did you do that? But anyway, the poll looks relatively conclusive, so I'll knock that off. So lots of the other ambassadors will be streaming throughout the day today, so if you want to see it, I know Hentis is planning on it. Joe probably will when he finishes work. Tintin's put a premiere up, and he probably will later today, I imagine. I imagine the German ambassadors will probably take this up as well. People like Trends in Play. Andy Ladd says, call in with man flus, you can play all night. Well, the trouble with that is I had Friday off, and today was a bank holiday. So if I don't go in tomorrow, I'll have to bring a medical certificate. Look at that, tunnels that light up properly with headlights that light up properly. Wow! Small light leak there, I'll ignore that given that everything else works. Pretty Shay says, time to wing it in the 145. Well, we're all just winging it because we haven't got a manual for the bloody thing. I haven't even touched it yet. I was too busy learning this for today. Oh, we're stopping here. Shit, eh? Track brake. I think we're going to fail the objective. Uh-oh. Nebworthed it. Alright, we'll go into Malascala then. It's fine.
Příští stanice Malá Skála.
Let's reset it, let it figure itself out. Did I release that brake all the way? Probably not. Off we go to Malascala. Now there's a band from Eastern Europe that has a song called Malascala, which the lead singer sings while getting porked. So if you know, you know. Now you know. Yes, that was a bit of a Nebworth. What would be the Czech word for Nebworth? Looks like we got a yellow coming up after this one. So we'll get ready to slow down for that. This time we'll stop, promise. This time for sure. Another reddish yellow signal.
Malá Skála.
And that's exactly what you hear in the song too. Malá Skála. The fact that it does this tells me that you're not supposed to drive this way. So we'll just roll in now. Michael Day, you reckon the best one yet? Boop. Doors. And we will leave it here for tonight. Ooh, what is that? We're not leaving it here at all. We're going to go have a look. Huh. Signaling wires. I'm stuck on them. Okay. Let's do this the right way. And jump over the signaling wires. Nah. Alright then. Photo mode. You can't even go past invisible walls with photo mode. That really sucks. Oh, here we go. So it's a little toy train. That's cute. That is cute. Won't do it in that thing, will it? No. All right then. Now we'll definitely leave it here. Because it is 11 p.m, so it's time for me to go to bed. So enjoy yourselves, folks. Thank you very much for joining in today. It's been a pleasure showing off Stará Paka to you. It is genuinely fun to drive. So, yeah, definitely, if you're on the edge and you want to wait for a sale, I think that's probably a good thing for you to do. But, yeah, I'd encourage people to get this and have a play, because it's put yourself outside your comfort zone a little bit. It is a new country, new signaling system, new safety system. Yeah, I think it's worthwhile, and I've been enjoying playing it. So, yeah, if you like it, grab it. If you're not sure, then, yeah, by all means, wait for your sale. I shall leave you now with Malaska. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you later. Bye.